It's the perfect time to be transformed. I'm Mike Morrison, pastor of Christ Community Fellowship in Parkersburg, West Virginia, with 2 minutes of insight and inspiration. Welcome to 2 Minute Transformation. Each of the Gospels offers a unique glimpse into the earthly life and ministry of our Lord. Matthew perhaps could be called the Gospel of Transformation because he paints for us pictures of the lives that Jesus touched. In the 12th chapter of his Gospel, he tells us Jesus went to church, and when he got there, the religious stuffed shirts are waiting, and they have a challenge for him. They present a man with a deformed hand, in which Matthew says was withered. Jesus sees the man's hand drawn in and twisted as the whitewashed church board begins to question whether it's proper to heal on the Sabbath. Jesus answers their question with a masterfully crafted question of his own. As they huddle up, scratching their heads, groping for some way to exact a charge against him, Jesus turns his attention to the man and his hand. Jesus says to the man simply in verse 13, "Stretch out your hand." Remember, this guy had a withered hand. What Jesus had just asked him to do was mind-boggling at least, and seemingly impossible at worst. The man, without argument or excuse, does what the Master asks, and his hand takes shape as this mangled mess of flesh and bone is unwound and becomes as whole as the other. His transformation moment happened because of his obedience to do what Jesus asked him to do. You and I are invited to do the same. James invites us to draw near to God with a promise that God will in kind draw near to us. Like the man in Matthew 12, we are all damaged in some way. Withered and broken, we hold our woundedness close, even doing our best not to let it show. But Jesus shows up and challenges not only the ridicule of the stuffed shirts, but even our own conformity in trying to hide who we really are, and invites us to reach our brokenness out to Him. Yes, He longs to touch your brokenness and restore you to wholeness, but first we have to allow ourselves to be exposed. So today I challenge you, stretch out your imperfections to Jesus and be transformed.